Ever feel like your hair has a mind of its own and always looks bad?
I'm just gonna shave my head.
Welcome to the club, ladies. After 17 years in the hair business, I have spotted a tiny but mighty culprit that keeps killing the potential of your look. And guess what? It's not you, it's your hairbrush. Yes, that seemingly innocent tool can turn your dream hair into a nightmare, snap your precious strands, or leave you with a frizzy disaster. In this video, I'm about to drop some serious knowledge bombs on how a single hairbrush can make or break your look. Join me as I uncover the hairbrush mystery that's been hiding in plain sight and learn about the different brushes and combs that can be used before, during, and after a blow dry. Plus, as a bonus for you guys, I will share some insider product application tips, blow dry techniques, and how to clean those magic wands like a pro. Here we go. Let's start at ground zero. You have just stepped out of the shower and your hair is dripping wet. I want you to think of your hair like a paper towel. When it's dry, a paper towel is in its strongest state. It's sturdy, you can wipe up spills, and it stays intact. But when it's wet, it turns into a delicate little snowflake. It is like that dramatic friend who bursts into tears at the slightest inconvenient, fragile, prone to tears, and needs extra TLC. Your hair, when wet, is much like your dramatic, fragile friend, which means that you always need to treat your hair, especially when wet, like a priceless piece of fine china. You never want to use a hard comb or a hard bristle brush on your wet hair. A comb or hard brush has no bend or flexibility to them, meaning they are going to be hard on the hair and are likely to break your hair, which only adds to the dramatic fragility of your wet hair. When your hair is wet, it is time to bust out the MVP of wet hair grooming, the one and only soft bristle brush. They are kind on your hair, but ruthless on tangles. My two favorite brush brands are Wet Brush and Fremar, but the brand doesn't matter as much as making sure the bristles of your brush are bendable and soft. Because they have flexibility, they are going to be able to glide through wet hair and minimize breakage, keeping your hair happy and healthy. The best way to use them is to first apply your leave-in conditioner, spritzing evenly onto your hair. Then you want to grab your soft brush and starting at your ends, gently brush through your hair, working your way to the top. You never want to start at the top of your hair and try to brush your way down. This is a recipe for knots, breakage, and turning a simple task into a tangled mess. You can also use these brushes to assist when blow drying, but in just a bit, I'll touch on a much better option to use. Combs can be used on wet hair after you have detangled your hair with your soft bristle brush. Combs are great for parting the hair as well before your blow dry. You can use them on dry hair, but I don't recommend it. And when using combs, you want to be sure that you use the wide side of your comb more than the fine side. Before we move on, I want to hear from you. Your input shapes this channel, and I am always excited to create content that resonates with you. Let me know in the comments what hair or beauty-related topics you're itching to see next. Who knows? Your idea could be the star of my next video, so go ahead, hit that comment section and share your thoughts. I can't wait to connect with you all. Now that tangles are history, it is time to roll out the red carpet for your styling products and prep your hair for its next phase. But choose your products wisely based off of the look you're aiming for. If you're all about volume that reaches for the stars, meet what I call the trifecta, the holy grail of big hair dreams. This includes a root lifter, volume mousse, and volume cream. They are like a hard rock band, cranking up the volume so every strand stands tall. If you prefer less volume but still want a full, thick feel, grab a volume cream or thickening spray. And if smooth and sleek is your vibe, you'll want to pair a smoothing cream with an oil or anti-humidity spray. If you're unsure of how much or how little product to use, I'd recommend you check out a previous video of mine where I go in depth on the correct way to use your products and what happens to your hair when used incorrectly. All right, it is time to roll up those sleeves and dive into the main event with the $1 million question. What brush should I use when drying my hair? Believe it or not, picking a hairbrush isn't a game of eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
What do you think, Brutus?
Depending on your hair length, texture, and the style you're after, the right brush makes all the difference. It's like finding the perfect dance partner. It has to match your moves, your groove, and your hair's unique vibe. There are 4 different kind of hairbrushes that come in handy when drying your hair: the ceramic round brush, the vented brush, the boar bristle brush, and the blowout brush. Meet the vented brush, which kind of looks like a quirky sister of a soft bristle brush. The only difference is that this brush features a unique vented design, which saves a big chunk of drying time by letting air flow through. This brush can be used while rough drying to assist several looks. It can be used to help keep tangles from forming while you rough dry. You can use it to lift your hair to create more volume at your roots as well. Or you can also use it during the rough dry to help prep your hair for any smoothness you may want to create. This brush can be used during the entire blow dry process, and it is perfect for anyone looking to create volume or smoothness in their hair during a fast blow dry. However, it won't create quite as much volume or smoothness as other brushes, and that is where our next option will be perfect for either look. The ceramic round brush works like a charm on any hair type and makes the perfect option for effortlessly getting volume and smoothness. It will provide you with much more of each versus a vented brush. It does an amazing job at evenly distributing the heat through your hair. Because the ceramic is heated from your dryer, it helps assist in dry time and leaves you with a glossy shine all through your hair. With pros, of course, come cons, and ceramic round brushes can be tricky, especially for beginners. Oftentimes the hair gets stuck by going against the grain. With a round brush, you always glide down, never up. Going up is going to create texture and cause your hair to get stuck in the brush. Appropriate size sections also help to keep the hair from getting tangled as well, allowing for the best results when drying. Your section should be no thicker than half the size of your brush's circumference and should be no wider than the width of your brush. My absolute favorite round brush is the Cricut Technique round brush. The grip on these is very amazing for holding in your own hands and fingers, and they last for a very long time. I have used these brushes all through my years in the salon, and I rarely have to replace them. However, while the grip is very nice, for beginners, it can be easy for the hair to stick to this area. So my other choice is Olivia Garden's Speed XL. The grip is still very nice with these, but there's gonna be less issues of your hair possibly sticking to this area. And they have a longer barrel, which allows for you to grab larger sections of hair at a time while drying. It is like the SUV of brushes. Roomy and efficient. To create volume, lift the hair up and roll it into the brush to create that perfect lift and bend. This technique creates maximum volume in your hair, making you the life of the party. And of all the brushes, a ceramic round brush is going to create the most amount of volume in your hair when used correctly. For the ultimate smoothness, roll and pull the brush in a downward direction to create that polished look. Remember, the round brush size matters. Smaller for more volume and roundness, larger for smoothness. If you feel like ceramic round brushes don't create the smoothness you're looking for, then you might want to try the next brush in our lineup, the boar bristle brush. This beauty not only creates max smoothness during your blow dry, but it also creates tons of shine. Using a boar bristle brush along with your smoothing products, you will be saying goodbye to frizz more than you thought possible. I often use a boar bristle brush on my clients with extreme frizz, and they truly make a huge difference. But in my honest opinion, it is a savior for coarse hair only. The reason these brushes help so much with frizz and shine is because of the texture of the bristles. Those thick bristles grip like a vice, which is great for taming wild manes, but I find they can be a bit too intense for fine hair types. I love these brushes, but I definitely only love them for more coarse hair. Lastly, we have the beloved blowout brushes. These are the perfect option for those who don't have the energy for a separate blow dryer and brush, and you like the easiness they create in your blow dry. They may be one tool wonders, but take my word for it, they are far from a one size fits all. Depending on your hair and desired look, you'll choose either an oval or a round blowout brush. For those flaunting medium to coarse hair with texture for days, the oval shape is your go-to for volume, bend, and smoothness galore. It is like having a Swiss Army knife for hair. You get it all. If you have fine hair, I really recommend a round blowout brush for that flawless salon look, or a smaller oval brush. You can still create smooth, sleek looks with a round, but when it comes to creating volume, they will do a better job for your hair type. When using these blowout brushes, the rules still apply, same as separate blow dryer and brush blow dries. You're gonna lift and roll for volume, regardless if your brush is round or oval, and glide your brush down to create that silky smooth look. My favorite option that gives the best bang for your buck would be T3's Airbrush Duo. This beauty comes with both a paddle and round brush attachment, which I love, so you can get the best of both worlds to create either smooth, sleek looks or add lots of volume. You get several heat settings with this one tool, which is nice as some of these brushes can get extremely hot. So to be able to keep the heat lower more than other brands, but still keep the speed fast is really nice. My second choice is the Dry Bar Single Shot. The circumference of this blowout brush fits almost any hair length, and the air slots really get the heat distributed evenly through the hair. They also offer a smaller size, the half shot, which is great for shorter lengths as well. I can't, of course, suggest blowout brushes without mentioning the Rolls-Royce of hair tools, the Dyson Airwrap. Painfully, and I mean painfully pricey, but their round brush attachments are exactly like a ceramic round brush on its own, which really does make a huge difference in the hair, at least in my own. I did just buy a blowout brush from the company Sutra that I'm trying out, and they have a similar option to Dyson with the wand attachments, but it's much more affordable. So if it's a tool that works out, I'll use it in a future video, and I'm excited to see if that smaller oval shape gives me the volume that I prefer. But if you are in need of a blowout brush, I'll link all of these brushes mentioned below in the description, as well as all the other products. So now, after all the combing, brushing, and styling shenanigans, our poor hairbrushes take a beating. Over time, they get a buildup of products, oil, and dirt, just like your own hair does, and dirty brushes can mess with how well our hair comes out and how long our style holds. Because of this, just like your hair deserves a spa day, your brushes do as well. That's why giving your hair brushes a thorough cleaning isn't just an option, it's a must. I have mentioned this topic before in a previous video, and it's something that's easily overlooked, but you truly should aim to clean your brushes on a regular basis in order to keep giving you your best hair. You'll want to start first by removing hair with the fine side of a comb. This is phase one of the rescue mission. Next up is bath time, and you're going to simply soak your brushes in hot soapy water and scrub them with some sort of toothbrush or a dish brush. Much like your own skin needs a good exfoliating scrub, so do brushes. Once they have been soaked and scrubbed, simply rinse and allow them to air dry completely before using once again. Now, one of the huge perks of using a blowout brush like T3 or the Dyson Airwrap is because they have those interchangeable brush heads that you're able to clean them the exact way that you do your other brushes, which is really so helpful. You do want to make sure, more than anything, they don't have a single drop of water left in them, as you want no water dripping into the motor of your blowout brush. I have to make sure that you guys get that. If you have a standard blow-off brush, that is okay. You'll simply remove the hair from your brush with the fine side of a comb, and you can take either barbicide wipes or a damp, warm paper towel and wipe in between the bristles, and it will clean your blow-up brush quite well. Make sure your wipe or paper towel is not dripping wet. No water in the motor. I hope these tips rescue you from future bad hair days and pave the way to happy hair endings only. If you want to figure out if you're using too little or too much product, check out this video right here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.